What do you think you're doing? Get away. What do you think you're doing, pal? Sit down. Boy. Okay. Hope everyone's been having a good week. Hope you're having a good day. Just petting my dog right now. I think we're already 5 minutes in. Well, 7 now. Alright. So, we are going to be talking about a few subjects today. A few topics that have not necessarily been, that has happened, but there's also stuff that I've realized as I was thinking about all this. Just about how many release dates we've actually gotten for The Last of Us Part 2. Especially for the explicit one, where everyone put all their cards on. Really put all their chips into this one bowl when The Last of Us Part 2 was released, originally for February 21st, 2020. If that was the release, we would have had it by now. And thus, we wouldn't have to be worrying about this corona virus thing. So, I want to talk about that. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about the tweet that Troy Baker sent out. We're going to be talking about digital release, because that's been a topic that's been going around for The Last of Us Part 2. And I also wanted to talk about another view on what Troy Baker once said on Twitter, where he said that going into this with an open mind. There's another perspective I want to go toward in this episode as well. So we got a few things to talk about. Oh goodness. But yeah. So we have a few things to talk about, and these things are they're very interesting topics to discuss. Troy Baker's tweet, and you see the first thing is actually something that was sprung out there. The second thing we'll be talking about is something that I thought of, something that I saw, not just something I thought of, but something I saw on YouTube. I watched a video on it, and I think it needs to be. I think it's something that we could just kind of. So, we're gonna be talking about it as well. We're talking about that as well, and then we're talking about digital release, and there's a few other things I think. If I can, hopefully I can remember them. But yeah, that's what we're having in today's episode. So let's get into the first thing. Something that was posted, I think it was like a week ago. I don't know. It was a long ago. And it was Troy Baker's tweet on Twitter, where he says something is coming. Stay tuned. That was obviously a paraphrase because I can't remember right now. But pretty much he said there are things coming. Something is coming soon. Stay tuned. He could be talking about The Last of Us Part 2, since this is one of his biggest. Since he is part of that is his biggest project that he is cooperating with, that he's participating in. It's definitely something that it's a game that he's been working on for a long time. So we know this. Troy Baker, the reason that I tell you guys that he might be taking that, I use the word might very loosely. I don't say it with a lot of confidence. It is because Troy Baker is like an icon in video game industry. He's an icon. He's played as the Joker in Batman Arkham Origins. He's played as Bruce Wayne in the Batman Arkham Telltale series. He's playing as Bruce Banner in the New Avengers. He's played, not to mention he voiced Joel. I mean, like, he really is in the video game world in so many different places, so many different topics, so many different worlds. I think he also writes music. I think he's actually done some movies, maybe. So he's part of where I'm getting to. He's already made so many things. He could be talking about anything. I don't necessarily know where I should put my money in. If he's talking about The Last of Us Part 2, or is he talking about the Avengers? Because those are two upcoming games. Though The Last of Us is by far the most anticipated game. It outweighs the Avengers with anticipation. Okay, it outweighs it. I know that may sound kind of biased, but it just look at it, man. I mean, just look at how many people are excited for this game. We've been really excited for it. But either way, I think both of them have been delayed. I know for sure The Last of Us Part 2 is indefinitely delayed. But I don't know much for the Avengers, but both of them are a big game for this year. They're a big game for this year. Both of them are a big game for this year. They're both big. They're both upcoming. They're both anticipated by fans. I'm actually kind of interested in the Avengers game as well. But obviously I'm more interested in The Last of Us Part 2. And the reason that I don't necessarily know what he's talking about is for two reasons. One, I already stated the first reason, and that was he's in so many different things, so it could be pretty much anything. And two, Naughty Dog hasn't really said much about anything about this. It's just stating, hey, we don't know when it's going to be released. We don't know when the new release date is. We don't know. We don't know. So, just not having Naughty Dog there, that's just part 2. But I also believe that I also have this thought where The Last of Us Part 2 is his biggest project that he's ever participated in. Okay, he has been in great games, but this game takes the cake. This one takes the crown. It is the most anticipated game of, you can even say, the century, or even all time. Okay, it's extremely anticipated. And it's extremely anticipated. Sorry, I was looking at something. It's extremely anticipated. And this is the game that's on everyone's mind. It's on everyone's minds. It's just, when is this game coming out? What's going to happen to this game? You know, when is it going to come out? I know it's on everyone's mind and minds, and I think Troy Baker notices that. I'm sure he has. But once again, I don't know if he's mentioning The Last of Us Part 2. I believe that he is talking about Last of Us Part 2. Now, once again, I use that word, believe, very loosely. I don't necessarily believe that it's going to come out. I'm just leaning more toward it being about Last of Us Part 2. I don't have my hopes all up. I don't have my hopes all up. But I am expecting a little bit to be The Last of Us Part 2. It's hoping. And I think it's just part of who I am. Something that I love, and there's a possibility of it coming out. I want it. I hope. And I think it's just something natural for someone who loves something and is really excited for some information that they become hopeful. And being hopeful is not a bad thing. Surely it can be disappointing if you don't get what you want and the information is not on the topic or issue that you want it to be on, which is understandable. My dog. But yeah, I don't know necessarily if Troy Baker is necessarily talking about The Last of Us Part 2. I would believe so, because once again, it's the most anticipated project he's ever been involved in. and there is no other game that's been anticipated as much as this one. So I would say this, that yes, he could be referring to Last of Us Part 2, but I also would tell you this guy has worked on many things. Not only that, but he's working on 2 games. He is in 2 games that are anticipated. Both of them are anticipated this year, which is The Last of Us Part 2 and The Avengers. They're 2 anticipated. I believe I believe that The Last of Us Part 2 is way, way more anticipated and hyped up for. There are more people anticipated for that game than for The Avengers. That's just something that I see it. And maybe, like I said, I'm biased, obviously, but I just want you guys to understand here that this game, The Last of Us Part 2, it is extremely anticipated. Everyone's waiting for Naughty Dog to do something. We're all waiting for them to do something. So that's kind of what I want to say on this issue and this topic, is that we don't know what he's talking about, though we can hope, because that is part of being a fan. If you don't get hopeful during times of mysterious tweets and foreshadowings of stuff like that, then I don't know if you're really a fan. I mean, because being a fan, it's not just, oh, I decide to be a fan. No, it grows on you. Being a fan, it grows on you. You get to have this great love for the game, where sometimes you just can't help but have an excitement and hope for this game to come out. So that's my thoughts on this one thing. It's just, we all don't really know what's going on with the game, and we're going to be talking about something later in this episode that's a little bit more. It's connected to this. But yeah. Okay, so that's kind of my thoughts just on the first issue of Troy Baker's tweet. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is something that is extremely on my mind, and I do believe this is one of the reasons why Naughty Dog has kind of ruined the hype for the game. And we see it here. It says Naughty Dog's perfect pursuit. Now, you see it in quotations, the word perfect meaning I'm using the word loosely. It's not a good pursuit. Human beings are by nature not perfect. We're not perfect. Mason! Stop that. Stop barking, boy. Sorry, if he starts barking, guys, forgive me. He barks at everything he sees. But once again, human beings are not perfect. So if the creators aren't perfect, the creature's not going to be perfect. Okay? The thing that they create is not going to be perfect. And I think that's one of the things that is going on here. I do think that Naughty Dog knew. They knew the game could come out on February 21st, 2020. But they didn't think it was good enough. And their standard of good enough is perfect. And so I do believe that. I do not believe that Naughty Dog just saw, oh, look at this right here. Oh, we got to fix this. I'm pretty sure that they are aiming for a very unrealistic concept or view of their new game. I think that's not the downfall of the hype. Not the destruction of the video game, but just the hype. The hype, at least for me, has been kind of degraded and numb and washboard. It's not as it used to be. It's because I've been disappointed so many times where it's like, you know, I love this game, but the hype has gone down. The hype isn't as big as it used to be. And it's because I've gotten my hopes up so many times. And though I'm not wrong, okay, I am not wrong to have my hopes up. My hopes could have never been more up when The Last of Us Part 2 was released for February 21st, 2020. I could have not been more hopeful. But then, like a week later? Stop it! Sorry about that. That was going crazy. Stop it! Stop it! Anyways. But yes, like what? A week later? they delayed it like months. It wasn't weeks, it was months. Okay, at the time it was supposed to come out, it came out in September. We had to wait October. We have to wait October, November, December, January, February, March, April, then May. That's 7 months. That's literally over half a year. Okay, so I think with that amount of time, 7 months, over 1 month, over a year, over a half of a year. If there were like little tweaks and stuff like that, they had to get rid of. That'd take what, a couple weeks, maybe a month or two, you know. But it shouldn't take 7. It shouldn't take that long. Okay. Oh, what's up, buddy? What's up, bud? How you doing, man? But I think Naughty Dog, they're just this unrealistic pursuit of perfection. It's ruined the hype of the game. And it's 7 months, guys. 7 months. What are you going to do in those 7 months? Oh, I don't know. Make it more perfect? There's no such thing as getting more perfect, you know. There's no such thing. There's perfect, and that's it. There isn't. Perfect is when you hit the highest. That's the highest of the high. You can't become more perfect. When you become perfect, you're perfect, you know. But their chase is so unrealistic. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I want this game to be the best it has ever been. But the problem... Can you fill me in? Oh, yeah, man. I'm just talking about some of the topics I have here. I'm talking about Troy Baker's tweet about something he put on Twitter about coming soon. When I just stated that we don't really know what he's talking about. I told people that it's okay to hope into the last that he's talking about The Last of Us Part 2, but I also tell people he might not, since he's doing another game this year, The Avengers. So I wouldn't put all of my chips in the bowl and completely just vote that this is going to be it. But I do tell people that you can be hopeful because it's kind of a natural response for a fan. So that's all that I said. And now we're talking about... Oh, you did? You joined the other... Oh, I didn't know that. That must have been... I can't remember. When that was. Huh. Well, I'm sorry that I wasn't there, man. Forgive me for that. But yeah, that's all that we're talking about, man. Now we're going to the second topic right now. And now we're talking about Naughty Dog's insane chase of perfection and how it's ruined kind of the hype of the game, at least for me. I don't know, man. It's Monday. Everyone's in quarantine, so I don't know. I really don't know. I just pray they're doing okay. But yeah, guys. I just think it's stupid the amount of perfection they're putting into the game. I don't like to say once again. I don't completely abhor, and I'm not against going full on and giving all of your soul, body, mind, and strength to a game that you love and you're passionate about. I have no problem with that. But there is a difference between being passionate about a game and your ability to deliver it as a very amazing game, and there's perfection. It's not going to be perfect. Okay? There's two differences. You give it everything you have. But then there's this mentality of perfection, and it's completely unrealistic. Don't set up an unrealistic goal. Why set up an unrealistic goal when you can't achieve the goal? The entire purpose of goals is so that you may achieve them. But if you give yourself an unrealistic and an impossible goal, you're not going to achieve the goal. It's kind of it's logical, you know, and it makes sense. Ah, crap. So I think Naughty Dog, just perfection, has really ruined the hype of the game. I think, and it's not going to destroy. It has not destroyed the story. It's not destroyed the characters. It hasn't even destroyed all of the hype. It's just that for me, I have not been able to have the incredible hype that I've used to have. Yo, there was no one in this earth that could sour and just cover and degrade my passion and hype for this game, except Naughty Dog. You know, and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, man, yeah. I definitely know what you mean. Get your game on. I know how you mean, man. Um, it's one of those things, guys, that it's it's just one of those topics here. Perfection is just not something that should be a goal. It's okay to desire it, and like I said, I'm not saying that you shouldn't work hard. I'm not saying you should make. I'm not saying that you should not make it as best as you can. But once again, there is a big, giant difference between working hard and make it the best game that you possibly can, and then there's perfection. The mentality is just an impossible and unrealistic goal. And guys, listen, I'm OCD. Okay, I'm OCD. I'm also a Virgo, and yes, I am a Christian. Yes, I do believe in a Christian origin, that God created God created everything in 6 days. I do, or yeah, 6 days. So I was about to say 7, but He created the world in 6 days. I do believe that. But you know, God has He formed the stars. It also tells me a lot about astrology, and because my Virgo sign, guys, I'm not kidding. My Virgo sign, my zodiac sign is a Virgo, and guys, I'm not kidding. That zodiac sign, literally, just describes me up to a T. I mean, it's insane that that knows everything about me. Not everything up there is true, but most of it is, and I always thought that was crazy. So I have this. I want to be perfect. As a Christian, as a born again Christian, I want to be perfect. I want to. And sometimes I believe that I can achieve that. But the truth is, I can't. I can't achieve perfection. Not in this life, at least. So, you know. So yeah, So yeah, I just wanted to give my thoughts about this because perfection is just something that should not. Perfection is just something that should not be a goal. And I have to remind myself of this too. So, I'm not perfect, even though I hate that. Neither is Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog, I think, has just put up an impossible standard for themselves. And if it's not perfect, they don't want to release it. And once again, I have no problem with them working hard so that it may be the best game they've ever released. I have no problem with that. It's just their mindset. That's the one thing I want to see. It's their mindset. How is your mindset? Is your mindset, okay, we cannot release this game unless it's perfect, unless it's completely, infallibly, and inherently perfect. If that's their mindset, that's a dangerous mindset. But if you go into the game and say, you know what, this game is not going to be perfect, but I'm going to make it as best as I possibly can. That acknowledgement of this is not perfect. That's how it is. That's how it should be. That's how my mind is. And once again, I have to really rebuke myself and correct myself when I think otherwise. Oh, really? Yeah, I think my stepdad is too. Oh, man. So that's my view on this entire problem with Naughty Dog. Yeah, man. I don't believe in coincidences. Stop it, boy! Yeah, man, I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe that. I don't believe things just happen. Alright, just give me one moment. My goodness. Okay. But yes, so that's my thoughts on just the kind of the mindset of Naughty Dog when they come up to games like this. When they make games, it just seems like they're just having this mentality of just perfection, 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 and it just seems like an unrealistic goal. All right, man. Anyways, sorry about that. I was thinking about something. And my brother was talking to me too, so. But yes, that is simply. Oh. Hang on, guys. I'm having a lot of distractions. I thought I wouldn't have that many distractions since it's at nighttime, but I don't. All right. So that's my thoughts on the entire situation with Naughty Dog's mindset and their mentality, and they're just unrealistic mentality of perfection. Okay. Now, the next topic they're going to go for it's literally connected to the next topic after this one. Okay, it's the topic of digital release. Now, if you don't know what digital release is, it's pretty much just downloading it off of the PlayStation. That's digital. When you get physical release, you get the physical copy. You know, you get the disc and everything. But a digital is where you download it off of the PlayStation Store and it's downloaded in your PlayStation. You don't need a disc to play. You just have it downloaded into your system, and you can play it anytime you want to. And that's exactly what's been going around here, is the idea of digital release only, no copy, no physical copy, just digital only. And the reason fans are thinking about this way is because they want the game, you know, and obviously. Digital release, it can't be, you know, and it's obviously because of the C virus. Since the C virus, and because of the C virus, people are like, you know what? We can't get sick if it's through digital. Because everything's being shut down, you know. And the fear of getting the virus is debilitating to a lot of people, if not all. So, my thoughts on digital release and it being released only, I think it's not a good idea. The reason that I don't think it's a good idea is because, guys, this is a virus, a pandemic that is killing people, and you're going to release a game about a virus that has wiped out the entire human population in over 25 years, dude. it's a bad time. just imagine all this, the fear, the hysteria that it might create, the amount of pain it could create. Many people could be watching and playing the game, and then just they can't play it because they're too worried even more about this pandemic. So one thing is the emotional state of many players and many people. Second, not everyone is going to be able to play the game. Like I said, not everyone's going to buy the game because not many people, almost like half of them, most of Americans don't have jobs. The only people that do have jobs are the essential ones, like doctors and nurses and stuff like that. The essential jobs where it needs to stay open. It needs to. So that's kind of the thing. There are so many different reasons why this should not be released digitally or right now. Even if we could have the physical copy, I still didn't like it in this time. Trust me, I want the game to come out as much as you guys do. I trust me, I do. But I don't know if it's the right time or it's even smart to do that. It's not wise to just release a video game that's all about the entire world being erased and eradicated after 25 years of an infection. You know, I think it just creates more hysteria. I think it's a wrong time and the wrong place to release a game like that. I think afterward is connect to the topic after this one. It's this. Naughty Dog is trying to find a release date as early and as soon as possible. Okay? Sony and Naughty Dog are working very hard to figure out when to release it. As early as they can. You see, here is where it gets interesting. Digital release, yes. It is not the right time. But at the same time, Naughty Dog is looking for a way, not just Naughty Dog, but Sony, this is the company that owns PlayStation, okay? And a bunch of other things, like computers, etc. Okay, a bunch of other stuff. Ow. And a bunch of other stuff. And Naughty Dog and Sony are trying to figure out a way to do this. Now, we don't necessarily know when that's going to be, but they are really trying to figure out a good place. And not just a good place, but as early as they can. So we don't know actually what they're going to do. It could be, I don't know. It could be literally digital release only. Maybe that's what they're going to go for. Maybe they won't. They're trying to find an early release date. We don't know when it's going to be, guys. We don't know. But my thoughts, the entire thing is no. I don't think so. I don't know what they're going to do. I do not believe that Naughty Dog and Sony is going to release The Last of Us Part 2, a game that's literally all about an entire world being eradicated by a virus, and then literally release it when we ourselves are going through a pandemic that has killed people. It just seems very ruthless. It just sounds wrong, you know. It just doesn't seem right. It just doesn't seem right. So my thoughts in the entire thing here is: do I want the digital release? Yes, I want it. Will it bother me if it came out at this time? No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. But the thing is, it will other people. I want the game. Yes. Do I want it really badly? Of course I do, but not at the expense of other people. I don't want to play the game, but no one else is playing it. It's just not fair that I get to play it, but everyone else who doesn't have a job and doesn't have the money can't play it either. It's just not. It doesn't feel right. It just doesn't seem right either. So I'm kind of twisted here, and it's kind of what my first topic of Troy Baker's tweet on it. I don't know. This is a lot on this channel. You don't know. You simply don't know. Excuse me. Ugh. Oh, excuse me. I had to sneeze. Um, so yes, I just wanted to grab those two, and I don't know. I don't know what Naughty Dog's going to do. I don't know. I just really hope that they will do justice, not just for those that can buy the game right now and it doesn't really bother them, that The Last of Us Part 2, a game that is about a pandemic, and they send it into the world right now where, yeah, I just don't know. My standard digital release is that. I don't think it is necessary. I don't think it's right for right now. I want the game deeply and really badly. I love the game. I want the game. But I'm sorry to hear that word. I don't know. I don't know. So, would I have a problem with it? Buy it because not everyone has a job. It just seems just wrong. And I want everyone to enjoy the game at the same time where people don't feel left out. So, that's definitely something you should consider. Something we should definitely think about. So, yeah. So, yeah. Okay, we'll talk about the very last thing. We'll talk about the very last thing, and that is a new perspective on not Joel. I was going to say Joel Baker. What the heck? Troy Baker's tweet a few weeks ago about on Troy Baker's tweet named talking about keep an open mind. And now I had my first one. If you guys didn't see my first one, go please check out the previous episode that I did on this. My last one is where I talked about it having an open mind, and I saw it through a political standpoint than the characters, and that was just one standpoint, that was one viewpoint. Now I found another viewpoint by watching a few videos, and it was, and the viewpoint that I had was, and the new viewpoint that I have now is, what if we are going to see things from Joel's past, and it's going to make us question the character he is? Because you got to remember, Joel was a hunter. He was a hunter. He did things that were terrible. Do you guys remember when, in the Forsaken Alone storyline, after you get done with Bill in Billstown, he's driving, and that guy is pretending to be hurt, and Joel immediately knew what was going on, what was going down, and then he literally tried to run the guy over, and he did run him over, and they had to fight their way out. And then Ellie, after the fight, he's going up the stairs. He said, "How did you know that?" He says, he says, I've been on both sides. He's a hunter. He did that stuff. He did that stuff before. So he killed innocent people. He could have done things that are just truly not good. That could have been killing children. Guys, we don't know. We simply don't know what's in store for these characters, especially Joel. And remember, Troy Baker told us that Joel is like the villain. He's not a good guy. Joel doesn't see himself as a good guy. So, understand here that I think when we're going to see Joel's character, we are going to have a different view of him. We are not going to see him as the protector of, Ellie, getting her to the Fireflies headquarters of the hospital, St. Mary's Hospital. We're not going to see that Joel. I don't think. That's why I think that's where Troy Baker said, have an open mind when you go into this game. Let the story tell. And I'm actually playing The Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and it literally said the same thing. Like, it's something very similar. And the game itself has a different bunch of views of paganism. And there's like talking about gods and everything. But there's also times where this girl picked up this dagger, and this dagger initiated pretty much the end times, the apocalypse. And immediately a tsunami came in, and it killed, and it was like it was killing everybody. Well, this little kid is like hanging on by a thread, and right before you can reach him, he falls into the water and drowns. That's dark. It's very heavy, and And that's just one of the ways that it could be dealing with when it comes down to The Last of Us Part 2 and about Joel's history and Joel's story and how bad of a guy he could really be. Just to show you the evil that he has done in his past and the criminality of it all, the bad stuff that he's done for survival. There's so much that we could be talking about here that Joel is not a good guy. I mean, this is The Last of Us, guys. This is a world of survival. There are no good guys and bad guys. There's just survivors. There is no good, bad. There's no one being on the good side, no one being on the bad side. There is not. This is a different game that they've created. Nathan Drake is the hero, while everyone else is different. So, I don't know. But we are going to have to understand here, when we go into this game, or have an open mind, because like I said, things happen in this game. Something's going to happen in this game that's going to change our minds. It's either going to make us love him more or hate him. We're either going to love the game or hate it. We're not going to be like, it was kind of good, but, boring. No, that's not what you're going to have. You're going to love it, you're going to hate it. That's it. And I'm really hoping that I'm going to love it. I'm really hoping I'm going to care about it despite it. I'm going to let the story tell, as he has said. It said that in the Shadow of Tomb Raider 2, before you go into the game, it tells you just let it tell the story and be open-minded. So, it's very, very important that we understand, in going into this game, that Joel he just done bad things. He's not the hero. We love him. We don't want to see the things that he did. I mean, imagine that. Imagine literally your sins, your greatest and most evil sins, get exposed and you get to see them. There are things that I've done that I don't want people to see. And if people did, they'd probably see me as a completely different person. So, and I want you to think about it as well. I mean, so if you really think about it, no one's really a good person. Not everyone is. Not. I don't think anybody's really good. Because we've all done things we have regretted. We've all done things that are pretty bad and even evil. So I don't know. Stop it! Just bark at everything. You don't even bark at anything. You just bark at something. Alright, guys. So yeah, that's just my thoughts here on this one issue of for example, I when I was a kid, I made fun of someone, and it was pretty bad. It was very racist, and it hurt his feelings. And some people don't see it as bad, and I see it as evil. I see it as completely evil. I see it as wrong and evil, and it's just something that is just wrong. Should never have to say anything to that until really it hurts them. So that's just for example. Once again, I've done other things as well, and maybe even worse than that. It's worse than that. So, so don't go investigating my past. Okay, so. But yeah, that's all that my thoughts on here of this episode today. It's just that I have such. It just, to me, it just seems like Joel's not a good guy. He never has been the good guy. Stole your mom's wallet. I did too when I was a kid. I stole $100. I got caught though. But yeah, guys, that's all that I have for this episode. I just want to talk about these things, and I just think that we're just going to see something from Joel. We're going to see more than he is, and I don't think we're really going to like it. Guys, like I said, it's probably going to get people upset. It's probably going to hurt me a little bit. because no matter what it is, that when the Shadow of Tomb Raider, that kid fell, dude, it really hurt me, dude. It really killed me. My heart's on my sleeve, okay? Yeah, Mission Fair. And it really hurt me. It hurt. And it really, even though it was a video game, it just really hurt. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this little episode here. We're at 99 subscribers, guys. I don't know if you've seen that. 99, almost to 100. That's crazy. I thank God for all that. I thank God for all of you. Thank you for tuning in for some of my videos, and I really just encourage all of you guys to continue to do so. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you're enjoying this entire series. And with that being said, guys, I pray that you would subscribe, that you would like it, and if you have any comments, just put them in the comment section below. I found my phone for this channel, so I can literally comment now and upload the thumbnails. So yeah, that's good too. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, consider subscribing, and just put in comments if you have any thoughts you want. But anyways, guys, I'll get it next time. Oh, no, sir. No, sir. Anyways, you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright, see ya.